But we are about to be hopping in here to round number 1 here on Reclaim, OpTic Gaming versus Illicit. And this is going to be an interesting one. It's either going to be a great match or possibly a blowout.
And then so what we're going to see is, again, Mental, who we consider to be the MVP of the game, going up top and leading the team for OpTic Gaming. Even after switching positions, he has just been a massive impact on this team.
He really has. So Mental has taken that front spawn position for his squad, and it's been definitely working out for him very, very well here. And as you see, but we're more here with DeFazio, and actually Illicit actually breaks through and they get a few kills here. It's going to be in a 2v2 fight, and you're going to see Kenny actually pick up one DeFazio trying to hold off. He has a 1v1 with Kenny for control over the B-Hill. Oh, he's actually going to take it right there. But here comes reinforcements. The rest of the green wall comes, but DeFazio will have help.
Don't stop DeFazio if you keep going. And this is something that we talked about. He's one of those young talents where he's very good with the shotgun and his movement and his mechanics. So this is actually really awesome to see. They do win the initial up top. They do slowly starting to gain a lead. But you know OpTic Gaming's coming off the respawn, and they're going to be pushing up top very aggressively with smokes out.
And that's the one thing with OpTic Gaming, is it's all about their speed. They already know the next play as they're respawning. They don't have to respawn, set up, didn't think about the play. That quickness puts them in a lot of good situations. You have 3 members of OpTic Gaming ready for this team fight, but DeFazio goes charging in with the confidence. He backs up. He has the help of his teammates. Summons gets one. They get another one. Here comes Kenny to clean up the kills, and now pushing in. The flank came in from Icy, and OpTic Gaming will control this B-Hill.
That was a good counter engage there by OpTic. And again, what ends up happening is Illicit did not watch the flank through apples, and you can see right now Sneaky is all by himself. He's in a bad position trying to hold off the home hill. OpTic are not going for the 3-cap, but they could have if they wanted to.
They definitely could have went for it if they wanted to, but you know what? They opted to just get control, set up, and they know that, hey, you know what? We're going to try to slay these guys up, slay them one more time off respawn, and then we'll push in for that 3-cap, which I agree is the right play, correct?
Yeah, and what you're seeing now is that OpTic is forcing Illicit to play the game. OpTic know that they can hold this 2-cap very solidly, and they're going to force a fight up on Manor. As you can see, it looks like Illicit is going to start making the push with Strangulate.
And here's the push. Explosive said, you know what, he's not in a good spot, so he's going to back up right here. Here comes the charge in. Summons able to catch Fnatic off guard. Little bait and switch action there by Summons and Explosive. They're going to drop back here. Here comes Illicit. They know they have to make a play right now, but the players are falling down one by one, and they just cannot get through this green wall right now, Waldo.
That team fire that's coming out of Explosives is just peppering everybody that they're coming in, and they're not trading off damage well enough, and they're not shooting a Lancer going up. There's no support fire from Illicit going against OpTic, and when you're running straight line into OpTic's Lancers, you're going to drop quickly, and you're going to get into one-shot range.
You really are, especially with, they got one player coming off of respawn right here. Illicit has one more push. If OpTic Gaming wins this is definitely their round right here, and they're confident. Mental is going to be locking down bottom barn. He's going to be eyeing down their home hill. One member down here for Illicit. Make that 2 members, and Mental is already causing commotion, and DeFazio said, relax, this is my home hill. He's going to lock it down, but it's going to be too little too late.
Right, and that's at least a confidence booster. He 1v1 Mental and 1, so it's like, okay, take your win. Just a little bit. But then you have to be looking, what weapon are you going to drop this round? What is going to help us give
Should
us
they go big right here? Should they set the tone of the match?
I don't know if you should go, like,
too big,
yeah. Like little big.
Ease into it?
Yeah, ease into it. You don't want to full throttle, go full boom shot early. But I do think that going with frags is a safe pick here. I think if you go retros, you also have to remember on the other side of the map is explosives.
Explosives,
and explosives will destroy your team with one weapon. That is it.
So it looks like they may opt to get rid of this block right away. The question is, where do they want to use it? They're going to go bottom workshop, so they don't want to have to focus too much of their attention on that side of the map, which is cool because in the later rounds, that's usually a prime location for grenades, and so they don't want to have to deal with that.
But on the other side of that, they force the fight. It has to be up top on Manor. So they're continuously, for the next 5 rounds, everything is on Manor side because there's no reason to go into workshop. You can't force a fight down there because you did that block.
In the first round, they won the initial. They actually did. They just have to hold their setups a little bit better. And they're going to get in here right away. They're going to have DeFazio sneak through here with Fnatic, but both of them go down. That's 2 member downs here of Illicit. Vicious is trying to make a play happen for his team here, but he's going to have to slowly back out of here. 4v3 situation in favor of OpTic Gaming, but Mental says, you know what? I want another kill here, so he's going to go after push in here, and he's going to push back the rest of the members of Illicit.
And Illicit needs to start dropping back here instead of trying to hold. Strangulate's going to get confident and try to push up the stair, and he's just going to absolutely get bodied by one of the best players in the game. And OpTic are just sitting together. They're not opening up any opportunities for Illicit to push in, and Illicit needs to time their smokes a little bit better and coordinate their push.
They definitely do. Visions could have almost made a good play right there, but he had the misroll. He could have got that up A on mental, but you have Fnatic pushing back in here. He's looking for a double, not able to get it. Icy is holding off these players just in time for the flank to come in for explosive. OpTic Gaming is eyeing down his domination, but they're going to have one Illicit member being annoying on the flank can strangulate, hold their home hill right here.
It's patience. He needs to wait for his team to respawn, and everybody coming off respawn needs to have their smokes out because you need to create pressure and you need to stop Vision and stun them up as they're coming in. OpTic are starting to fall back. So you see what they're doing is they're going to push up aggressively, and then they drop back on the pressure.
Oh, he got one. Can he get the second one? Oh, Strangulate ain't having none of that, but he does go down. Summons knew where the push was coming, so he was hiding, waiting for that kill. Icy gets the clean up. Very easy there for him. And now up top, OpTic Gaming has the full setup. Domination possibly coming in. They're going to have to either push up top. I think up top is their play unless Sneaky can win his 1v1 against Icy. Big plays right here. He goes down, not able to do it. And then, but the double came from up top. I think they all died, though, as well. Yes, they did. Domination by OpTic.
They literally ran up top, and they had no choice. What ended up happening is Explosives went down to take that 1v1, and the entire team was cut off. OpTic's Lancers on the Manor side absolutely eliminated any push that they could do at that situation.
They definitely did there. They hit a full setup. The little moves like that Icy did right there, where he just goes and kind of aggroes onto their home hill, it just causes panic in the team's formation right there because it's like, you know, we need somebody to go, we need to push up here and get B, but he definitely did it right, and OpTic Gaming came out there with that round, but what are you thinking right here for this weapon placement?
I hope that you're not doing a sniper. They may go bigger here.
No double snipes? You don't want to come out here and just really
You've got to think who's
saucy
on the other team. You got Summons, you got Icy, you've got Mental. Like, do you want to give them that? Kenny can even snipe. I think you taught him yourself. Like,
so this is what they were eyeing here in the first round. Do they want to put nades, just something here to reward themselves for winning this fight up top because it is a hard-fought fight. And if they can use those nades wisely to pretty much, if they win the fight, use the nades to stop the second assault from OpTic, they'll be in a good situation.
They need to kill Mental instantly.
Yeah.
Because if Mental gets in the horseshoe inside of that, it's over because he's just going to have so much opportunity to slay you out. And you can see Icy's going to be up here. He's going to be pushing in, rotating up. They did kill Mental, so they're in a good spot.
They got 3, actually. They need to mobilize on this right here. 4 down, actually. If they can mobilize for this domination, they're going to be in a good position. Summons is trying to OE here. He has a 1v1 against Sneaky. He's getting crossed out. I don't think Illicit is going to let Summons do anything right here. Domination coming in play, and Illicit get their first round.
So clean. That's exactly what they needed to do. And like I said, your first object in that entire fight stopped Mental from getting into the back. They killed Mental, and then they stopped Explosives. At that point, they had all control of the inside of Manor, and they got grenades for free. 4-man wipe early.
And that was a beautiful round right there because you saw the 4 consecutive kills. If you are a new player out there and you don't play for that domination, okay, then you're doing something wrong. And for all our new viewers, that domination is when you cap 3 heals right there, you win the round automatically. So with it being 5v5, you kill 3 or 4 players automatically, you have that advantage. You need to push to cap all 3 of those rings right away.
Yep, and we're going to see is they're going to be pushing up. We saw that Hammer Bursts were put down from OpTic Gaming. They didn't want to throw anything too strong down there, but Explosives will use that. Oh, but it looks like Kenny's going to be picking up, so that is a little bit different.
Yeah, Kenny's going to get that, but still the same opening fight comes through. Fnatic tries to sneak his way in his corner, trying to catch somebody through the smoke. No vision for any player, but 2 goes down right here. OpTic with a good lead here. Nades will get picked up as well, and now they're holding off to Fazio. Can he make a play? He cannot. Now OpTic Gaming has 3 down, and we're about to see these guys mobilize for Illicit's home hill.
Strangulate has to make a really good play here and stay alive and play his life for the respawn. Oh, he got the flank there, but it wasn't just enough. Explosives dodging out of it. Strangulate's in a bad spot, and OpTic are already inside of the hill waiting for the respawns. I don't think it's enough.
Yeah, I don't think it is either. They're going to slay up those 2 unless Fnatic can get a quick double, but here come Mental with the last-minute nades. DeFazio, can you do it for your squad here? No, he cannot. That's going to be all members dead here by Illicit. And OpTic Gaming come out of here with their 3rd round.
It looked really good off the start, but as you saw, the round collapsed and DeFazio was late on the flank. If everything goes well, Illicit can win that opening initial, but everything has to go well.
Yes, it definitely does here. They have to come in there, and they have to find those kills. With all those smokes being thrown, one of the key things is making sure you can hit those up A's and get those marks, those quick L trigger marks. And because if you mark a player throughout all those smokes, you can still see them.
Right.
You'll still see the outline of that character, but you need teammates marking those guys through those smokes before they go off. unless it's just, you kind of moving around and smoking until you kind of just run into somebody, and at that point, you got to just hope that you get the first shot off.
Right, you're spraying, praying through the smoke and hoping that you hit something. And that's really tough, especially on this high side manner. The cloud of smoke is so thick that you can barely see through it. So you have to be very delicate in how you approach that situation. If you don't, you're going to cost your team vision. You're not going to be able to see as it's going in.
Definitely will. The opening push here, Mental makes it in. He sees this 1v1 that he needs to take in, and he gets it. Now here comes the flank, and he gets that kill as well. Now he's going to be here. He's going to grab these grenades. Icy is in a perfect position inside that shot grenade. Nobody can clean up his kill. OpTic Gaming comes out on top with another clean push. Unless Visions can pick up the triple his team needs. He gets one, and he finally goes down there by Icy.
Great play there by Visions, but again, you're playing into the best player in the game. Mental is so good at clutching up in those situations. A 2v1 is usually general ease for him. So we're seeing as it's going in, Sneaky's trying to hold off his home hill. He's getting pushed in, and all of OpTic Gaming are starting to collapse on the home hill. DeFazio is going to try to make a play here, but I just don't think it's enough.
Oh, not on Mental right there. He wasn't having any of that. And it seems like, especially with these nades on the map, as soon as OpTic win those initial, they seem to be getting dominations, playing for those dominations immediately. And with those nades, they're succeeding.
Right, and they're controlling the map, and really the pressure's never on Illicit's side except for the one round they won. OpTic are always putting pressure on Illicit's side of the map. They're always past the 50-yard line. They're always on their side and making sure that they're never comfortable. They can't get setups, and they can't control the map.
This could be the play right here. Never mind. Mental got 3.
Well, he got 2.
Mental kind of just shut it down. I thought it was. They made it through, but Mental got a quick triple there to kind of just shut down any assault that Illicit had. And you see the man right there, ice in his veins. Mental has always been that guy, cool, calm, and collected here. At this point, during the weapon selection process, you're going into 20-second respawn rounds. You have one placement left on the map. What do you do? Not
go big here because you didn't do it 3 rounds ago?
That's true.
I mean, it really doesn't make a difference. Like, you can drop a boom shot, but at the same time, you guys banned the workshop fight.
How do you feel about this location here in the middle of the map with the weapon placement? Is that like a feasible location to play for a heavy weapon?
I don't think so because of the amount of crosses, and it's very vulnerable. It's not like you can draw a fight there. Everybody can see you from pretty the high side of the map, so that has to be, thought about as you're approaching that situation.
Yeah, I definitely agree. It's definitely one of the riskier positions to actually grab a heavy weapon. You usually want to put that on the bottom of the map or to the top of the map here, but OpTic Gaming with the 4-1 lead, Illicit with the 20-second respawns, they're going to have to find some of that energy that they had in round number 1 to win this opening initial. With 20-second respawns, they can come out and win this round, but they just have to come out of here and be aggressive. Nades being covered mid-map. Mental will pick up nades as well. You're going to have some kills being traded off right here. Fnatic breaks ice, but here comes the double. Mental grabs a kill. He gets a third as well. And now OpTic Gaming with a lead here. You're going to have 3 members down with Illicit. And Mental's just walking up on DeFazio, but he says, yo, it ain't what you thought right there.
Not today. DeFazio's, he gets a couple of trades in there. You got to take what you can. But it's definitely a hard time. Mental killed 2 people with ease up there. So you see DeFazio right now. He's going to be fighting against explosives. And all he needs to do is control the high side of the map. He cannot die here, especially with 20-second respawns. He needs to at least be a point of contention.
Oh, those were good kills right there. He's taking his 1v1s. He's got enough time between each one of them, but he kind of, flopped that second instant grenade and went too far with it. He still has a good 1v1 and has the help from his teammates. So B has been decapped, and he got the word on the flank right there. His teammate Fnatic came up, cleaned up the kill, got a second kill, and now DeFazio is going to help him out as well. And they get a triple up top to defend the B hill.
And that was a complete wipe, so they should be inside OpTic's home hill and trying to triple cap here. They have enough time. They just have to stop Kenny from getting inside the hill and make sure that they're landing shots on anybody who approaches. They did take out Summons, and now Kenny's dropping, and this should be Illicit's round.
This should be Illicit's round right here. I definitely agree. And they did a great job chaining together that domination after they got those kills right there. Just a perfect flow of rotation right there. So, but we are going to be going into halftime, folks, and during halftime, we will have a new set of heals. As the respawn timers increase at the end of every single round, they also drop back down during halftime, so they will be at 10 seconds again, and all those weapons that we saw placed over the last 6 rounds will get removed off the map. So this is going to be halftime, clean slate. Illicit has the possibility of going in here with a new strategy and kind of turning things around. You agree?
They may be able to do it. They already took 2 rounds, and they said they maybe get 1. So, I mean, Summons is wrong on that one. But you see, again, DeFazio is going to be leading into the fight, and he's already getting pushed in by Mental. So we'll see how this turns out. This is a really difficult situation just because of how Mental approached that, pushed all in.
And yeah, right there, you're going to see Mental go down. Kills being traded by both teams right here. Still a 4v4 situation. They have a guy down. Here comes the support fire here from Illicit. They're trying to work together, but you see OpTic Gaming are firing back, and they're holding their ground right here in defense of the E-Hill. And now the rest of the members of Illicit are about to mobilize down low to try to push out OpTic Gaming. And OpTic Gaming are backing up here, but it looks like they want to go back here for the fight. You're going to see the back A come in. Icy's going to get a kill. And you're going to see Explosive get a kill here as well. And OpTic Gaming actually is going to push back up in here and take over this E-Hill. Just when you thought Illicit had a solid ground, the domination comes out here. And it was a 1v1 that was one up top. And OpTic Gaming here, you thought that was going to be Illicit's round, correct? But they came back here.
Well, it looked clean, right? They allocated a lot of resources, but what I saw is that OpTic were just falling back and waiting for the line to cross, and as soon as that happened, there was no one super wide going around the barn to cross down that lane to actually force OpTic down. So they were just recovering health, and as soon as the top fight won, it was over. They flanked down behind them.
And that's one thing about OpTic. They know when, hey, you know what? Sometimes they gotta hold their ground and wait for the perfect moment to strike. And they had to back up a little bit, like you said. They had to get their health back. And once they got it, they said, all right, you know what? We can fly in here, pick up these kills. These guys are kind of overextended already, and they took advantage of that perfectly. And now in the weapon selection process, Hammerburst, how do you feel about that, Waldo?
Safe pick. You're not looking to do anything too effective with it. You're just trying to get an extra long-range rifle.
Do you want a few more ballsy picks, so to speak?
I kind of want to see something bigger out of them. I kind of want to see them forcing fights, and this isn't weapons that force fights. It kind of gives you extra range. It gives you a little bit of a burst, you know, in your team fire that someone may not be adjusting for. But at the same time, if they're not hitting shots, it doesn't really matter. So
yeah. And, you know, same thing, you know, some of those weapons in those dual spawns are double-edged swords. And, you know, OpTic Gaming is pretty much good with every single weapon here. But the fight here for the neutral hill is going to break out. And you're going to see Vision, they're going to actually break out. All members of OpTic Gaming are back up. It's kind of like what we saw last time. OpTic is just backing up and just letting Illicit overextend to their side of the map. And from what I saw, Waldo, Illicit is just not spread out enough. Would you agree?
Yeah, what we're looking at is that OpTic just literally lined up 4 people across the bottom of the map and waited for all the smokes to clear. And as soon as the smokes cleared, they went through and counter-pushed. And so, Illicit were looking in every direction but the ones they needed to be.
So Illicit really needs somebody kind of putting some pressure mid-map, or kind of wait for the guy to kind of win their fight up top to kind of cross down low to put some pressure on OpTic, because OpTic shouldn't be allowed to kind of sit back there and, you know, they can't let OpTic bait out all their smokes and all their utility.
Right. There was so much time that OpTic had. That's 20 seconds where OpTic is just setting up, waiting for smokes to clear. And at some point, you have to address this. You can see DeFazio is at least playing up on Manor now, trying to cross out, you know, explosives and summons. So you've got to keep this in contention. And there's a heavy fight up top, but what are they doing with it, right? They're stalling for a ton of time. Is Illicit taking pressure to the other side of the map? Are they winning anything else? Is E being contested?
And as you see, OpTic Gaming just picked up 2 kills here. That's a 3rd. That's a 4th. And they're pushing right here. One member is off respawn. OpTic Gaming does not have control over the E-Hill, but they will get this high side set up on both home hills and try to control Illicit's home hill up top. Illicit's just grouping up down low. They're trying to just wait to make a play and push back up top. Is this where the play should happen?
I think that they're probably OpTic's going to default to the EF home strategy, where you're not going to be pushing across the map. You don't really have to. You can play safe, force the fights where you want. You're in control. You have map control. They have to push you.
They definitely do have to push them. And OpTic knows when to strike and when not to, but Icy being sneaky, but Visions had the vision right there. He saw Icy trying to come on the flank, and so he's going to shut him down, trying to push through right here. 1v1 situation. He knows that, hey, I got to back up, make sure I get my life back so I can stay alive for my teammates. And now he's going to be pushing forward mid-map. He's going to get eyes on Mental, trying to sneak behind him. And with a 2-cap right here, can they win off just a 2-cap, Waldo?
They cannot win off a 2-cap. They need to actually go for a 3-cap at some point, or at least decap F for a short period of time. But this is also something where Visions was in the middle of the map, is where Visions needs to be, or someone from Illicit needs to be in the other rounds off the start. Yeah, just so that you can get a cross lane. Because otherwise, OpTic is going to get the same setup that they're looking at. Now they're forcing it. They're going to be going into the home hill.
They got one. DeFazio hops in. He goes down. Sneaky goes down as well. DeFazio is still alive. Can he get another one? That's going to be a trip. And you need somebody to go big here. And they're going to get all 3 of those kills right there. And now Strangulate is just down low on E. Ain't much he can do right here. That's going to be an OpTic round. They they got the opening down right there, but what happened? How did that crumble?
Their whole setup was odd. If you're looking at it and trying to understand what was happening, OpTic is just being patient. And what ends up happening is Illicit started turning the fights, and OpTic just, we're okay being down 30 points at the beginning. We can take it back. We don't have to win the initial. We have enough skill. We have enough teamwork that we can effectively
Do you think Illicit needs to use more of their support weapons? Do they need to use more Lancer, more pistol, and not kind of rush in those situations with their shotgun because they had it down? You had 3 members of OpTic on top of their hill. At that point, you just say, hey, cross them out, get the proper angles, and then OpTic should crumble. And
we see the drop shot, which could potentially be the last round. Yes, I 100% agree. I think that Illicit, when they look at that situation, instead of panicking and say we need to get in the hill, they need to cross it out and then go clean up kills. They didn't put enough damage on the hill for them to clear it out and win that fight effectively.
I definitely agree with you right there. And now, drop shot being placed down low. They're going to have to fight for it. And we usually see teams do this a lot here on the last round. They say, hey, you know what? Go big, go home. We have to be perfect here. And drop shot being played. So Mental, he's trying to sneak a few kills, and he almost got kind of robbed right there. You see Fnatic full red, and kills being traded off by both teams. 4v4 situation. Drop shot still going to be in play right here. Visions goes down as well. OpTic Gaming in prime position to get that drop shot. What can Fnatic do right here to save his team? You see Explosive's going to get it.
Fnatic needs to wait, and he needs to be really patient and sneak up and explode. Oh, and he missed the shot. He needed to do that, and what he does is it draws the attention because now OpTic have to either deal with him or they have to go and try to cap the home hill. But they're going to get the cap on the home hill. All the players are down. They're hopefully getting in there, but as you can see, OpTic Gaming, clean round.
OpTic Gaming came out clutch right there. You seen it, 7-2. Wasn't what someone's predicted, but they still came out clean. Illicit, the 2 rounds that they got were very, very good. They had a few different times there to kind of strike and come through. And, as long as they was able to push through and get those guys in that flank, they would have been perfect. But I don't feel like they were spread out enough.
I don't think that they were spreading the map, and I don't think that they're team firing effectively. But again, that comes with experience and knowing what your teammates are going to do. So if you're in that situation, you have to be thinking, okay, I'm playing for damage, you're playing for the one shot. And someone has to be communicating that. The best way to do that is how we've said on fight nights. You need to go in, you need to practice online, work, work on it. Just shoot for each other. It's not the best thing to do, but it's at least some kind of practice that you start building up that synergy before you get to land.
Yeah, and I definitely agree with you. But going into map number 2 here, it's going to be on Dam. So the question is Dam going to be the map that turns it around right here?
Impact.
And so, you think about it, Reclaim was OpTic Gaming's first map. They won at 7-2, but maybe when it comes down to Dam,
Impact?
Maybe Illicit's going to have a little bit more, extra oomph on that map.
Impact. Impact.
Impact? My fault. Oh, it's going to be on Impact. Sorry. Wrong sheet. We're going to be on Impact right here. Okay. That was the last one, but Impact's going to be their map.
Right, and what you're going to see a lot of is the table fight down in the cockpit side of the ship. And there is a huge table that's down there where a lot of smokes come out, lots of cross.